In Shushan's halls the banners wave, the wine flows free, the jewels blaze. For days on end the king displays the splendor of his glory days. The nobles feast, the princes sing, the power of a mighty king. But soon the joy will turn to shame, when pride and anger fan the flame. The feast of the king, the gold and the light, the world sees the power, but misses the fight. For thrones can tremble and crowns can fall. When pride stands high, it will break us all. Misses the fight. For thrones can tremble and crowns can fall. When pride stands high, it will break us all. The king called Vashti to his side. Come show your beauty, be my pride. But she refused, her answer strong. A storm was born, it wouldn't be long. The wise men spoke, she must depart, lest all the wives grow proud of heart. And so the queen was cast away, a lonely night, a crown's decay. The queen refused, the court was stirred, the law was sealed with a royal word. For power fears a voice that's free, and pride can change a destiny. Destiny. The king grew cold, his heart alone, without a queen upon the throne. The heralds called through every land, for beauty fair the king's command. The maidens came from far and near to win the crown the court's veneer. But in the crowd God's plan was near, a hidden star was drawing near. The search for a queen, the choice unknown, but heaven's hand will guide the throne. A plan unfolds no man can see, till time reveals God's mystery. A desert lived in exile's land, raised by Mordecai's gentle hand. A Jewish girl, yet none could know the name she bore, the roots that grow. She found the favor, caught the eye of those who watch the court pass by, yet kept her birth and people still, as Mordecai had told her will. The hidden star in palace walls, prepared for God's unspoken calls. Those shadows veil the light's true name. It waits the hour to burn in flame. The hidden star in palace walls, prepared for God's unspoken calls. Those shadows veil the light's true name. It waits the hour to burn in flame. The hidden star in palace walls, prepared for God's unspoken calls. Those shadows veil the light's true name. It waits the hour to burn in months in oil, 6 months in myrrh. The perfume spoke, the silks would stir. She learned the steps, the royal ways, yet prayed for God to guide her days. When came her turn to meet the king, she asked for nothing, took no ring, but found his heart, his crown, his grace. A queen now stood in a Vashti's place. For a year she prepared, and one night was the key, when God opened the door to her destiny. From ashes of exile to crown of gold, the story of heaven began to At evening watch beside the gate, two shadows whispered hard with hate. They forged a plan to strike the crown, but Mordecai wrote danger down.
He told the queen the word was weighing, the names were sealed, the truth displayed. The king was saved, the record kept, a quiet seed that had not slept.
Write it in the book, let it stand. Faithful deeds in a faithful hand. Honor may linger, glory delay, but God remembers in His day. Write it in the book, let it stand. Faithful deeds in a faithful hand. Honor may linger, glory delay, but God remembers in His day. Hidden acts beneath the sun will speak when all is said and done. The unseen God will bring to light the smallest choice to do what's right. Write it in the book, let it stand. Faithful deeds in a faithful hand. Honor may linger, glory delay, but God remembers in His day. Write it in the book, let it stand. Faithful deeds in a faithful hand. Honor may linger, glory delay, but God remembers in His day. Write it in the book, let it stand. Faithful deeds in a faithful hand. Honor may linger, glory delay, but God remembers in His day. He loved the bull that bent his way. He craved the praise of every day. But one man stood and would not kneel. The pride in Haman's heart was real. A single, no unmasked such an ancient home. For hatred grows where idols sit, and blind ambition feeds on it. Haman's pride, a brittle crown, a tower high, soon falling down. The fear of man will never save. Only God makes rulers brave. Search my heart, remove the lie, the need to be exalted high. Let holy fear, not pride's demand. I pride my life by your command. Haman's pride, a brittle crown, a tower high, soon falling down. The fear of man will never save. Only God makes rulers brave. They cast the lot to mark the day. They sealed the law to sweep away a people set apart by name. The city froze in shock and shame. The riders roll through twilight streets with iron words and ruthless beats. But heaven heard the trembling breath beneath the law of certain death. The decree of death was signed, yet mercy moved in God's design. When earth forsakes and darkness spreads, the Lord remembers covenant threads. No written curse can hold its throne when God declares, "These are my own." He breaks the yoke, he turns the tide. His purpose stands, his people abide. The decree of death was signed. Ashes cloth the city's cry, a faithful cousin's urgent plea. Who knows if you were raised for this, to stand and intercede for me.
3 days of fast, a silent room, a heart resolved through fear and gloom. She breathed a vow with steady breath, I'll go though it may mean my death.
If I perish, I will still obey. Truth is worth the costly way. Life is held in higher hands. I'll stand where righteousness demands. Courage grows where prayer has been. Strength is born when we come clean. Call me forth, oh God of grace. I'll seek your favor face to face. If I perish, I will still obey. Truth is worth the costly way. Life is held in higher hands. I'll stand where righteousness demands. If I perish, I will still obey. Truth is worth the costly way. Life is held in higher hands. I'll stand where righteousness demands. I'll stand where righteousness demands. I'll stand where righteousness demands. She crossed the courts in royal dress, a trembling calm, a holy yes. The scepter rose, the door swung wide, an open path to speak inside. A feast prepared, a measured pace, not yet the plea, but set the place. Wisdom waited, timing true, a second table would renew. The golden scepter, mercy sign, an open gate to heaven's time. When fear would close the pleading lips, God grants a word that never slips. Teach my soul to walk, not rush, to trust your whisper more. left the feast with lifted head, but Mordecai would not be led. The joy collapsed, resentment flared, a gallows rose from hatred's stairs. His friends advised a deadly height, a tower built in moonless night. He slept with dreams of bitter gain, but pride prepares its own refrain. Haman's rage, a roaring fire, feeding on a false desire. The scaffold stands by wicked art, yet judgment starts within the heart. Haman's rage, a roaring fire, feeding on a false desire. The scaffold stands by wicked art, yet judgment starts within the heart. Guard my soul from vengeful schemes and the snare of poison dreams. Raise a better banner high, mercy, truth, and humble cry. Haman's rage, a roaring fire, feeding on a false desire. The scaffold stands by wicked art, yet judgment starts within the heart. Haman's rage, a roaring fire, feeding on a false desire. The scaffold stands by wicked art, yet judgment starts within the heart.
Restless night, a random page, the record turned another age. Was honor paid? The question fell, the silence answered none as well. Whoa, whoa. Timely thread, the proud one came with plans for dread. Advise me then, how should I bless the man the king delights to dress? The king could not sleep, but God was awake. He turned the hinge the proud can't break. He clothed the just, exposed the snare, a sudden twist of sovereign care. When we forget, God still recalls. When we are weak, His purpose stalls, then moves again at perfect speed to honor faith and topple greed. The king could not sleep, but God was awake. He turned the hinge sovereign care. Second feast, the moment near. Speak, Queen, and I will gladly hear. She named the plot, she named the man. The room grew cold, the blood withdrew. Stepped out in burning wrath, returned to find the twisted path. The gallows stood outside the door. Now judgment fit the builder's score. The tables turned by heaven's hand. The righteous live, the wicked can't stand. Snare they set becomes their end. God is the judge, defender, friend. Let truth be clear, let courage speak. Let justice live, the crushed and weak. Your name protects, your verdict stands. You weigh the hearts, not just the hands. Seen it ring, a transfer made, an open door where death had stayed. Another law, better word, the right to stand with shield and sword. The city cheered, the sackcloth fell. The streets were bright where shadows dwell. For light and joy replaced the dread, a crown of gladness on their head. Light and joy for the house of faith, gladness where there once was wraith. God overturns the darkest night and writes the morning with His light. Your favor breaks the iron line, your promise turns The day arrived the Lord had named, but fear of God through Persia reigned. The Jews stood firm, united, strong. The Lord reversed the plan wrong. They made a feast to mark the grace, to pass the story face to face. From mourning days to gifts and bread, remember how we stood, not fled. The feast of Purim, tell it on, how God preserved when hope was gone. Exchange of gifts for rich and poor, His faithful love forever sure. We'll teach our children, keep the days, so future hearts will learn your ways. You turn our lot, you write our song. To you belongs the triumph strong. We'll teach the Purim, tell it on, how God preserved when hope was gone. Exchange of gifts for rich and poor, His faithful love forever sure. The feast of Purim, tell it on, how God preserved when hope was gone. Exchange of gifts for rich and poor, His faithful love forever sure. His faithful love forever sure.